TDP data systems was started to address data issues that block or slow decision-making in general, and specifically across lab-to-market ecosystems. TDP's approach has proven to de-risk and compress the time for decision-making by 80% or more, with greater optionality in real time. TDP Data Systems is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business. It was founded in 2016 and is based in Palo Alto in Silicon Valley on Sand Hill Road. It was co-founded by a Fortune 50 entrepreneur and innovation practitioner across corporates, startups, government, and academia. These issues include data asymmetries, data silos, and data inaccessibilities. TDP has been providing its platform as a service and managed services on top to Global 2000 and Fortune 500 since 2016, academia starting with Stanford in 2018, the federal government in 2021, and economic developers in 2022. Our nation is now faced with an unprecedented danger and opportunity. We are faced with an accelerating number of socioeconomic and geopolitical challenges and pain points. At the same time, we are surrounded by an exploding number of disparate resources that could be brought to bear to address these challenges. These resources are often hidden or obscured due to the exploding number of potential resources. It is as if we are standing in a field with countless haystacks, each with its own potential and unique set of needles to help address the growing challenges. To illuminate these needles, TDP has ingested 1,000 databases and data sets that include organizations, federal government, startups, corporates, SMEs for set-asides, nonprofits, NGOs, contextual, environmental, social media, topographical, socioeconomic, policy, regulations, health, community, societal, resources, STEM, infrastructure, funding, and individuals. Correlations, causal, and predictive. TDP has developed technologies and processes to ingest data in real time or near real time. TDP has just ingested 70,000 research paper abstracts from a UK university in less than 30 minutes. TDP uses machine learning to make sense of the language used to describe innovation. This is because startup founders and researchers continue to tag what they are promoting with new keywords to try to break through the marketing clutter. This is causing the language used and the underlying meaning to evolve quickly. TDP also uses machine learning to expand the number of keywords a subject matter expert may provide. For example, the Department of Energy provided TDP with 40 keywords, and TDP expanded that list to 200. This increases the potential solution space and optionality and allows TDP to restructure the databases it is working with based on the expanded keywords. Going from right to left, users of TDP's platform as a service can choose which databases to work with, select analytical and predictive algorithms to apply against the databases, and generate scorecards in real time for every row of data in the restructured data. It could be hundreds of thousands of rows. This allows the computer to assess a vast amount of data and do so objectively that humans cannot. The computer-generated scorecards then direct humans on where to further focus next, since humans can deal with new and novel situations that computers cannot. This allows for the efficient deployment of human analysts, which is the expensive piece of the process. In combining computer and human intelligences, this offsets the respective biases of both with humans in the loop. TDP's approach does not use a black box generative AI. Rather, TDP retrieves data from trusted, curated databases and turns it into actionable information using traceable, audible, trustworthy AI. TDP generates scorecards for every data type in its system. This includes both available resources from the supply side and requested resources from the demand side, to include federal government RFIs and RFPs, and for the CHIP program and reshoring. Here is a scorecard to assess a grant solicitation from the federal government to stand up a semiconductor fab. The scorecard assesses the grant in terms of attractiveness from the perspective of a potential proposing team. The audience for the scorecard is for the supply side, potential contractors or grantees, to help the federal government meet its various missions. This is a scorecard of a potential prime awardee for the federal government, which contracting officers can then subjectively assess based on their expertise and insight. This is a ranking of potential prime awardees for this RFP. This is a scorecard of a potential sub-awardee, including those that qualify for set-asides. The scorecard can be used both by potential prime awardees and by the federal government. TDP can evaluate, score, rank, and identify synergies and potential redundancies across the portfolio of the federal government's investments, including U.S. SOCOM's portfolio. TDP's process can also be used to accelerate the revitalization of America's defense industrial base and its various sectors, such as for space or submarines. Based on any set of keywords and working from a granular bottom-up approach, TDP can heat map and track the emergence of any capability, resource, activity, or phenomenon. In this case, TDP is tracking AI research and patents. In this example, TDP is tracking energy storage research and patents. TDP's approach can be used to heat map and track other activities and processes such as supply chains, corruption, and terrorism, both domestically and transnationally. TDP has clustered its various algorithms to form families that then inform TDP analytical and predictive models. This is an example of a TDP model from 2022 to evaluate 200 metropolitan statistical areas, or MSAs, to compete for the NSF's Regional Innovation Engines RFP. TDP has been on calls with the White House and USDA with rural communities, during which folks from those rural communities said that they don't just want jobs, but rather they wanted the ability to create intergenerational wealth. So, TDP modeled out the ability of 200 MSAs to allow for the creation of intergenerational wealth. TDP's approach provides a data-driven, evidence-based process to de-risk and compress the time for public policy discussion and formation. For NIH's Pathway to Excellence and Innovation program with HBCUs, TDP ingested data and developed frameworks and models to heat map nutritional deserts and assess HBCUs' capacities to help address those deserts. TDP has generated frameworks and models that can help address diverse socioeconomic pain points, from health disparities to endemic poverty. Here, using its predictive analytics across 5 million rows of ingested data, TDP has ranked 3,143 counties and parishes across America for the risk of increase in levels of obesity. From this, TDP projected for each location the loss of productivity and taxes and the increase in medical costs. TDP's projected medical costs include secondary effects such as hypertension, diabetes, or heart disease. TDP estimated the increase in subsequent healthcare and economic costs on a per capita basis by county. This can be viewed as an incremental tax. TDP can run any socioeconomic pain point through its framework and models. Examples include the costs associated with fatherless homes, predatory lending practices targeting the unbanked, or assimilation challenges of illiterate migrants who speak neither English nor Spanish. With its frameworks and models, and by tracking social media and other data, TDP can predict social sentiment, phase transitions, and emergent properties at the community census tract, city block, and individual levels. TDP's modeling of phase transitions and development of predictive analytics for emergent properties is combining advanced computing and human analysis to get left of boom. This includes across various spectrums of risks at different locations, intensities, and scales. For the spectrum of geopolitical risk, this would include phase transitions across diplomacy, transnational corruption, transnational terrorism, unconventional warfare, and conventional warfare. This allows narratives to be tested for having been potentially overfitted by cherry-picking data points. Since at the frontiers of research, emerging technologies, and startups, there tends to only be partial solutions. TDP uses its system to assess, score, rank, and combine various resources in real time to create holistic solutions, TDP's ecosystem maps. Starting in 2022, TDP began entering challenges from the federal government to test how generalizable and extensible its system was to generate solutions to any type of pain point. Using its approach, TDP was a winner of a rapid staffing challenge from the DoD. For the challenge, TDP included developing algorithms to assess a candidate's probability to pass a TS/SCI clearance. Along with Booz Allen Hamilton, TDP, using its modular approach, was a winner of a model-based system engineering challenge from the DoD. TDP's approach was to transfer data up or down classification levels while maintaining, controlling, and synchronizing a specific model's core configurations. TDP opened its platform as a service to students who used it to win a USAID challenge to address ocean plastic emanating from the Philippines. The Philippines generate 70% of the world's ocean plastic, which may also interfere with naval operations. TDP also generated for USAID an ecosystem map to support the protection of biodiversity in the Peruvian Amazon, which in turn can be a bulwark against transnational corruption and terrorism. When EU stated that one of its missions is to protect global biodiversity, TDP provided the EU this TDP ecosystem map to demonstrate how their support of indigenous peoples and their land rights can protect biodiversity. As America's soft power through Hollywood content and fast food wanes, the opportunity is to offset this decline by making available and accessible around the world data that has been transformed into actionable information. This will be in contrast to the restriction of information by authoritarian regimes. TDP's approach has proven itself to a market-tested, trustworthy AI solution that is generalizable and extensible, including for the art of the possible, point solution generation, revitalization of industrial bases and supply chain, and for data security. TDP is a Swiss Army knife for precision decision-making across US SOCOM's 13 missions and across the missions of the federal government's departments, agencies, sub-agencies, and bureaus.